Hey guys, so today I'm going to be doing my April wrap-up. I can't believe April is over now. It's crazy. Like, my birthday is in May and I'm just like, I'm going to be 21 and I don't believe that that's actually happening, which it is, but it doesn't feel like it. So, that's a thing. But yeah, so I read 20 books this month, which was insane. I can't believe I did that because I took part in Tome Topple, and like that's like where you read big books, so I'm surprised that I read so many books this month. And then if you saw my video about my challenge I want to do in May that was created by the person, I'm sorry, I can't remember her name right now, but I know her last name's like Hardwood is what it was. But yeah, where I'm gonna try to read 26 books for every letter of the alphabet. Let's see how that goes. But anyway, so let's just get into the April wrap-up. Some of these books I don't have with me because I've already taken them back to the library because they were due, so if I don't have them, whatever, it's okay. So the first book I read this month was Heat Wave by Richard Castle. Because me and my boyfriend, we really love the TV show Castle, and we watch it all the time, and so I saw that they had those books when I went to Books A Million, like at the around the first week of April, and so I got the second one, but they didn't have the first one, so I got the first one from the library and I read it, and it was okay. It was really short, but it wasn't what I was expecting in a way. Like, I figured the writing would be a lot better because of how Castle, like, talks on the show and stuff. I thought it would be, like, that caliber, but it's not. So I only gave it a 3 out of 5 stars. The next book I read was The Dark Days Pack by Alison Goodman, which I was dying for that book. And then when I was at the library one day last month, I saw it and I snatched it so fast because The Dark Days Club was such an amazing book, and I loved it so much. And so I read The Dark Days Pack, and it was really, really good, and now I'm mad because I have to wait a year to get the next book, and it sucks. But I gave that a 4.5 out of 5 stars. It was really good. It did lag in a couple places, but other than that, it was great. The next thing I read was this, Origins. Volume 2 is the prequel to Supernatural. I have some Supernatural comics that I've had for a while, and the other day I was like, you know what, I'm gonna read one of my Supernatural comics, so I did. I'm missing Volume 1, like, when I bought it, because this was back when I worked at Hastings, someone sold these to us, and I bought all of them, but they didn't have Volume 1 or, like, Volume 6 of the other series, because there's another one that's called Rising Sun, and it makes me really sad. Or Volume 5 of Rising Sun. It's one of those. Anyway, but yeah, so I read this and I gave it a 4 out of 5, and Sam and Dean, yay. I'm just a really big Supernatural fan, so that's what that is. And then also, okay, this is gonna be where it gets a little sad. So, well, anyway, I think I told you guys about this, but I used to read this series, the House of Night series, back when I was in like middle school or something, and I was like obsessed with these books, like obsessed, but I never finished them. And so I got them from Thrift Books the other day, or not the other day, I don't know why I said that, like a few weeks ago, and so I've been reading them and they've been amazing. Again, they're so addicting, and they are like the easiest books to read because they're so entertaining, and because the writing's pretty simple, so you get through it. Like, I can get through one of these books in like 3 or 4 hours, and then bam, I'm done, and it's fantastic, and they're so good. Like, they are so good. I love the characters. They're really funny. They're super, I don't know if I would say, I mean, they are kind of complex. Anyway, but it's really good. It's really, really good. So I read, so in this has like this is a bind up of the first 2 books, and I read both of those this month. And I'm gonna kind of go out of order since I'm already talking about that series. I gave the first one 4 out of 5, the second one 4 out of 5, And then I also read Chosen, which I gave 5 out of 5 because this has one of my favorite story arcs in this one. It's so good. It's so good. And then I also read Untamed this month, which I gave 4 out of 5. And like, my favorite character is introduced in this book, and it's just so exciting. And I'm really excited to read the other ones, which I will be doing this month. I'll be reading like the next 2 because they're like for some of the letters that I have to do for this month, so I'm really excited. So yeah, that series. Okay, now we're gonna go back to where we're going in order. Okay. I also read Orange volumes 1, 2, and 3 this month. And guys, this is like the best. It's so good and heartbreaking and awesome, and it's fantastic. If you haven't read this, you need to do yourself a favor and you need to read it. They're super cheap on Amazon. Go get them. I got this one from Books A Million, but that's because my dad gave me money to go to the bookstore. But I'm gonna be buying the second collection probably this month if I get money for my birthday, so I'm excited for that because I want to know what happens. But yeah, the first volume I gave 4 out of 5, and then I gave the second one 5 out of 5, and the third one 5 out of 5. I highly recommend. Alright, the next thing I read was another manga, but I don't have it because I got it from the library and I already took it back, and it was not great. It was not good. I didn't like it that much. It's called Shuga Chara Volume 1, Who Do You Want to Be? And I gave this a 2 out of 5. And it's like about this girl at elementary school, and she's like she's really stylish and everything, and everybody thinks she's so cool and everything, but on the inside she's like just really shy and really scared, and she's just like freaking out all the time, and she's really not like how her personality and how her outside demeanor makes her seem to be. But I don't know if it's because she's in middle school and I just can't relate anymore, or if it's just, but I mean, I read a lot of middle school stuff and I like it, but I don't know, it was cringy. I didn't like it. I'm not going to continue, I don't think, so yeah, that. And then we have The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss. I read this for the Tome Topple, and I gave this a 5 out of 5, obviously. It was really, really good, and I really enjoyed it, and I'm just really happy that I got to read it, and yeah, it was great, and I'm so excited for the next book, which I still have to buy. But the next book is like 1,000 pages, so that's going to be fun. I'm definitely going to, whenever I do get that, I'm definitely going to save it for the next Tome Topple. But yeah, this was really good, and I'm happy that I read it, and yeah, great. The next thing I read was also for the Tome Topple. This was my graphic novel for Tome Topple, and this is Full Metal Alchemist Volumes 1, 2, and 3. And I do count each volume as a book, so. But this was really good, and I'm really happy that I picked it up. I got this with like Amazon credit, and this is just really interesting. Like, I love the brothers, and I love like their dynamic and their relationship, and like how they interact with each other is really interesting, and I enjoy it, and I like the style of the manga. It's like one of my favorite styles of how it's drawn and everything, and it's fantastic, and you should just go read it and all of the things. Okay. And then I also read for the Tome Topple The Mime Order, which is the second book in the Bone Season series, and I gave that a 5 out of 5, which, you guys, that series is just so good. It is so good, and I'm just so happy that I finally picked it up. This is also something I got from the library, but it was fantastic, and I want to read the third book, but my library doesn't have it, so sad days. But when they do get it, I'll probably read it. But I do kind of want to wait until it gets closer to the next one's release date, because I don't want to like read it and then have to wait forever, because I have to wait extra long when I'm getting them from the library. But there's some books that, like, I don't have unlimited amount of funds, so I can't buy all the books. So I do use my library quite a bit, And yeah, but yeah, 5 out of 5. The next book is The Thousandth Floor by Katharine McGee. This I just read because I wanted to read it. It was really good though. Like, it's really interesting how like the entirety of New York City is now in one tower, and I just found that so interesting that they have like parks inside and like all of these things, and I don't know, I think this was like just so well done. Like, I really love how Katharine like built up on the world and stuff, and like explained the tower and like all the ways that they get around in the tower with the hovers and the elevators and everything. And I really enjoyed the characters. They're all incredibly different and complex, and I like them. And I really enjoyed all their storylines that were going on, especially Watt. He's cool because he's a hacker, and I really, really love hacker stories because I find them interesting. Probably because I'm just really obsessed with like Charlie Bradbury on Supernatural, so yeah. Which, yes, I'm caught up with Supernatural, so yes. Anyway, but yeah, so this was just really good. Really, really good, and I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars, and it's getting a sequel, which I am super happy about. I can't wait until that comes out, so yeah. Which, again, I got it from the library, so I'm gonna have to wait forever for the sequel, but oh well. The next book I read was Daughter of the Pirate King by Tricia Levenseller. This was really good. I love pirates. Like, they're one of my things. Pirates, you say pirates and I'm gonna like want whatever it is because I love them. But yeah, and like one of the things is like readers should rejoice because we now have a Lady Jack Sparrow on our hands, which at first I was like, is she gonna be like Jack Sparrow? Because that's a really high regard to hold it to, you know. But honestly, that pretty much sums it up pretty well because she is insanely clever and witty, and she is a badass basically. And I really, really enjoyed this. So yeah. But yeah, and also, okay, here's the thing. Lately, I've been reading a bunch of books where the main character has red hair, which I'm a natural redhead, so it's really crazy that all these books I've been reading have, like, natural redheads, and I'm just like, what? Like, I don't know, like, that's not something that I've ever gotten to really experience. I mean, I haven't seen a lot of redheads in, you know, YA books that I've read, and I'm starting to see that, and it's really, I mean, and not just YA, but other books too, like, just, it's really happy, it's just a really happy thing for me that I'm seeing people that look like me, because it's, I mean, I don't, it's not a thing, and I live somewhere where I don't see other redheads at all. I mean, I see redheads, but they're not natural, they're, you know, bottled, but still, so it's just, which, that's not a bad thing, that's fine, but, like, I'm just saying, like, it's different, so I really like it. But yeah, so our main character, her name is so hard to say. Alosa, okay? That's what it is. But she has red hair, and she has, like, the really, like, pale skin, and just, I enjoy it. I really enjoy it, so, yeah. And I gave that a 4 out of 5. I can't remember if I said that. Really, I think it was more like a 4.5 out of 5. But, yeah. Okay, and then the next one I read was A Darker Shade of Magic by V.E. Schwab, which this has been something that is like all over BookTube. Everybody loves this series. Everybody talks about it all the time. The final book just came out recently. And, yeah, so this has just been all over lately. And so I finally picked up the first book from the library, and I read it, and I really enjoyed it. I think Kel is such a sweet character, and also he is a redhead too, just side note. And then I really like Delilah Bart. Like, she is queen. which is like a general consensus for everybody that's read this series. She wants to be a pirate, and I'm just like, I love that. I love that she wants to be a pirate because that's just so interesting, and I love pirates, and I think she'd be a really, really good captain. And yeah, I enjoyed this a lot more than I thought I would because it's got the whole parallel kind of world thing going on where you can travel through the different Londons like Kel can, and I thought I was not going to like that because that idea just does not interest me at all, really. But then I read it, and I was like, I really like the characters and like their development and everything, and I'm really interested to see what'll happen in the next book, which I'm sure that A Gathering of Shadows is probably at the library, so I'll probably be checking that out at some point. So yeah. Alright. And then the last thing I read this month was a manga. I recently discovered Hoopla, which I have Overdrive, but Hoopla had like something that I was looking for that Overdrive didn't. So then I downloaded Hoopla, so now I have like double the selection for books I can check out digitally from my library, which is fantastic. Because Hoopla has a lot of the newer releases that Overdrive doesn't get as quickly, which is exciting. So that's something. But this is just a manga. I just kind of was browsing through what selection they had, and I found one that seemed interesting, and I was like, well, I'll try it. Manga goes by pretty fast. Oh my god, this manga was such bleh. Like, I gave it a 2 out of 5 stars because I did enjoy, like, I enjoyed the characters themselves. I did not like the dialogue, because it's really cringy, and I didn't like how it's insta-love as fuck. Like, in the most terrible way, insta-love. So that was not fun. But like I said, I gave that a 2 out of 5 stars, and just, I just did not enjoy it. I did not enjoy it very much at all, so yeah. But those are the 20 things I read this month. I'm really excited for the challenge that I have set myself for this upcoming month. Currently I'm reading my A read, which is A Great and Terrible Beauty. I started that like yesterday, and yeah, it's been pretty good so far. I'm not that far in. I'm like really not that far in, but we'll see how it goes. Oh, and another thing, just one other thing, redhead, natural redhead, and she has freckles, and I'm just like here for it. Yeah, the book just committed suicide. It's fine. Anyway, but yeah, that was my April wrap-up. Wish me luck for May and trying to read 26 books while I am really obsessed with Stardew Valley, and that's usually all I want to do. So, yeah. See you guys later.